Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, please accept my humble and respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of all your lotus feet. So today is very, very auspicious day, Gita Jayanti, and also Mokshada Ekadashi. So what more we need to study Bhagavatam in this auspicious day, to study Bhagavad Gita on this auspicious day. And I'm so grateful for giving this opportunity on this auspicious day to serve all of you. So how do we want to go, Mataji? Like, so Gita Jayanti, like we can talk maybe 10-15 minutes about Gita Jayanti, and then we can start the Bhagavatam class, or how we have to?
Usually we do the Bhagavatam verse and then go into the special festival.
Okay.
But it's up to you. However you want to do is fine.
Yeah, sure. We can start with the Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So today verse we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, Text 25. Let me share. Hope everyone can able to see my screen. Tamasat api bhutadher vikurvanat abhunnabah tasya matra guna sabdho lingam yadrashtir drishyayo. Tamasat api bhutadher vikurvanat abhunnabah tasya matra guna sabdho lingam yadrashtir drishyayo. Tamasat api bhutadir vikurvanat abhunnabah tasya matra guna sabdho lingam yadrashtir drishyayo. Devotees.
Tamasat api bhutader vikurvanat abhunnabha tasya matra guna shabdho lingam yadrashtra drishyayo.
Tamasarapi bhutadir vikur vanad abun nabaha tashamatra gunas shabbo lingam yadristir drishayo.
Tamasad api bhutadir vikurvanad abhun nabha तस्य मात्रा गुणशब्दो लिङ्गं यदृष्टिर्दृश्यया. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण. तामसाद् अपि भूतादेर् विकुर्वाणाद् अभूनवः तस्य मात्रा गुणशब्दो लिङ्गं यद् दृष्ट्रि दृश्ययो. हरे कृष्ण.
तस्मादपि भूतादेर्विकुर्भानात् अहुनव तस्य मात्रा गुणशब्दो लिङ्गं यादृष्टिर्दृश्ययो. हरे कृष्ण.
Tamasat, from the darkness of false ego. Api, certainly, Bhuta Adihi, of the material elements. Vikurvana, because of transformation. Abhut, generated. Navaha, the sky. Tasya, its. Matra, subtle form. Gunaha, quality. Shabdaha, sound. Lingam, characteristics. Yet, assets. Drashis, the seer. Drishyayo, of what is seen. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवनं भगवतीं उत्तमश्लोकीं भक्तिर्भवति नष्टि शृण्वतां सुखदा कृष्णवपुण्यशमनकीर्तनं हृद्यन्तस्तोभ्यभद्राणि विघ्नोऽपि सुहृत्सदा. Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace of Aishwarya DC Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. From the darkness of false ego, the first of the five elements, namely the sky, is generated. Its subtle form is the quality of sound, exactly as the seer is in relationship with his seen. Purport. The five elements, namely sky, air, fire, water, and earth, are all but different qualities of the darkness of false ego. This means that the false ego in the sum total form of Mahatattva is generated from the marginal potency of the Lord, and due to this false ego of lording it over the material creation, ingredients are generated for the false enjoyment of the living being. The living being is practically the dominating factor over the material elements as the enjoyer, though the background is the Supreme Lord. Factually, save and except the Lord, no one can be called the enjoyer, but the living entity falsely desires to become the enjoyer. This is the origin of false ego. When the bewildered living beings desires this, the shadow elements are generated by the will of the Lord, and the living entities are allowed to run after them as after a phantasmagoria. It is said that the Tanmatra sound is created and then the sky. And in this verse, it is confirmed that actually it is so, but sound is the subtle form of the sky, and the distinction is like that between the seer and the seen. The sound is a representation of the actual object, as the sound produced speaking of the object gives an idea of the description of the object. Therefore, sound is the subtle characteristics of the object. Similarly, sound representation of the Lord in terms of his characteristics is the complete form of the Lord, as was seen by Vasudev and Maharaj Dasharath, the fathers of Lord Krishna and Lord Rama. The sound representation of the Lord is not different from the Lord himself, because the Lord and his representation in sound are absolute knowledge. Lord Chaitanya has instructed us that in the holy name of the Lord, as sound representation of the Lord, all the potencies of the Lord are invested. Thus, one can immediately enjoy the association of the Lord by the pure vibration of the sound representation of his holy name. And the concept of the Lord is immediately manifested before the pure devotee. A pure devotee, therefore, is not aloof from the Lord even for a moment. the holy name of the Lord as recommended in the Shastras. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. May therefore be constantly chanted by the devotee aspiring to be constantly in touch with the Supreme Lord. One who is thus able to associate with the Lord is sure to be delivered from the darkness of the created world, which is the product of false ego. Tamasima Jyotirgama. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamakyam Padati Swapadantikam. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। उपम करोति वाचालं पुण्यं देगिरं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरं हरिः। Translation. From the darkness of false ego, the first of the five elements, namely the sky, is generated. Its subtle form is the quality of sound, exactly as the seer is in relationship with the seen. So here what we are saying is actually the creation, right? So in the creation, how and what are the things that got created? So Mahatattva, and then that is a whole elements, like all the elements, and then from Mahatattva first like three modes, Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, and actually from that Rajoguna and Tamoguna, the false ego, actually the original form, how these creation happens is the origin is false ego. So from that false ego, what happens? The other elements of this material creation started. So Prabhupada is mentioning that what is the origin of this false ego? It is because we want to enjoy separately from Krishna. So that is the origin of the false ego. And because of that false ego, what happened? Because we cannot be in the spiritual world with enmity with Krishna. So because of that, Krishna created this material world. By the will of the Lord, all these creation happened, like sky got created, sound established, and then all the different senses got established, and then three different modes came up. So all these things got created by the will of the Lord. And it is also not by us, but because of our false ego, Lord is so kind, and he is creating a world where you can go and play like a child who wants to imitate the parents. So the parents will get some toys to imitate whatever you want. Okay, you can also imitate. So similarly, Lord also very kindly created this material world, and he sends us and he said, okay, you can now imitate that. You are the enjoyer, you are the doer. So all these things are coming because of that false ego. So that is the origin of everything. And from that, like the first five elements in that sky got created, and in the sky, so the subtle form is the quality of sound. So now whatever we are speaking, we can able to hear. That is because of the ether, right? So the ether is present. And how that it's the transaction happening, like how you can able to hear It is because of that sound, right? So the sound is transforming in that ether, and that's how we can able to hear each other. So that sound is exactly, that is a main part than the sky. The sound, the way through the sound only we can able to feel that object or realize or see that object. So otherwise we cannot able to understand. And Prabhupada also says that when the bewildered living beings desires this, that they wanted to enjoy, they wanted to dominate this material world, and then they come in this material world, and Krishna creates all the different senses, and then they will run after them as a phantasmagoria. So basically, we want to control this material nature, right? That's the reason we came. But factually what happening is we got controlled by the material nature. So material nature is actually inferior than the spirit, that the soul, the living entities are spiritual in nature, and spirituality is the superior and the material is the inferior. But all the time, like, superior have the control over the inferior, right? So that is a nature. But what happening here is the inferior is material nature, but which is controlling the superior living entity. Why? Because of our false ego. Because of our false ego, so we got controlled by the three modes, and we are acting in a way that I am enjoying, I am doing all these false illusion, lamentation, fear, all these things are all coming because of that one false ego. So, and then here Prabhupada, not going very technically, but what is the essence? Okay, we study these creations and how this got created, but what is the essence and what we have to get by studying all these things? So that's the route that Prabhupada is taking us here. So Krishna's creation shows the love for us. And that love, that's why Krishna gave this form of the holy name, right? So when Prabhupada talks about the tanmatra, sound got created, so the sound is actually very, very important role it's playing, like, because when we see in our everyday life, so by sound we can able to realize anything. Like child, take a baby, like when a baby born, first senses what it can able to do, it can hear, it cannot even see. First it can hear only. So when we clap, it will turn. So that shows that the sound is the first thing it can able to hear. And also when we are in deep sleep, also what happened, like when alarm rings or someone knock, immediately we can hear, right? So even we are in a deep sleep, we can able to hear. So the sound plays a vital role in our life every day. And also whatever the sound that goes in, so that's how our consciousness will impact. So that's why we should not hear the materialistic sounds of like Bollywood song, all these musics, and those things will actually contaminate our consciousness. So we might think that, oh, this is just for time pass, I'm hearing, but it is not, nothing, like I'm not attached to it. No, sound have a very vital impact in our consciousness. So very easily we can understand this, like when we hear some, like in a movie or in any serials, if you see, oh, they put a like very the music way that we will cry, right? So the music they play like a violin, oh, it's a slow violin music, and it like we feel that, oh, now the sad thing is happening, so then we feel that cry, right? And some like very rock songs, like if it is played, then we feel that, oh, we are so enthusiastic, so we are so happy. So from that music, so what we are hearing, our consciousness is changing, right? So in that way, the sound is very, very important factor. And that's why Srila Prabhupada says that here, the sound form of holy name is non-different from Krishna. So in Chaitanya Charitamrit, in Madhya Leela, it is mentioned Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinnatvam Nama Namino. So Krishna's holy name and the sound vibration, it's not different. So that's why when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Krishna is in the form of holy name, and we are associating with that form in this holy name form. So Krishna appeared in the form of holy name in this Kali Yuga. Right? So Krishna's name is complete and transcendental. And that's what in Sikshashtakam also we see Namna Mahadi Bhaguda Nija Sharva Shaktish Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Davakripa Bhagavan Mamavi Duradaivam Idrisham Ihajani Nanura. Krishna have millions of names, and those names have equal potency. Every name have the equal potency. And Krishna gave these many names. Actually, Krishna have these many names so that like we can able to chant and remember Krishna. But Duradevam idrisham iha janina anuraga. I am so unfortunate. I'm so fallen. I'm not attracted to this holy name. That is our condition. Right? So that, but there is no difference. Even though we are not realizing or we are not understanding the importance of the holy name, but holy name have the power. So like how the fire have its own nature. So it doesn't discriminate that, okay, now the child is touching, I should not burn. Now the adult is touching, I have to burn. The fire does not discriminate. Whoever touch, it will burn. So similarly, the holy name, whoever chanted, even though knowing the glories or not knowing the glories, they will get benefit because there is no difference between the holy name and Krishna. So Krishna is so mercifully come in this form of holy name. So, so that's what Prabhupada says, that the sound vibration is non-different from Krishna. So he is the absolute knowledge is in this sound form. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed that in the holy name of the Lord as a sound vibration, all the potencies are invested. So that's why one can able to, if we are chanting sincerely, attentively, so then we can able to feel the association of Krishna. So very beautiful analogy I heard like from one of the lecture by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So actually the Kaliya pastimes. So the Kaliya pastimes, what Krishna did? Krishna was dancing on the snake, right? So what happened when he was dancing and stepping on the Kaliya's boots? So all the poison that Kaliya had, it was spit it out, right? So similarly, the holy name, in the form of holy name, Krishna is dancing in our tongue. And our tongue is like a snake, which is spitting poisonous like words or gossiping or chastising or all the things that is coming from our tongue. So this tongue is like a snake. So when the holy name in the form of Krishna is dancing in our tongue while chanting, so then what's happening? All our thoughts of bad thoughts or like whatever that we are doing, it all spit it out. So that's how the purification happens. So that's how the changes we can able to feel after chanting the holy name. So we can hear like many people's realization, like when we started initially, like how initial experience of chanting the holy name, like so much differences we can able to feel. Of course, like later point, then Krishna start his testing, and then our sincerity depends on our sincerity. Then we can able to realize Krishna's presence by the holy name. So, so that's what here Prabhupada says, by the pure vibration of the holy name. So one can able to feel the association of the Lord. In this way, we can able to associate with the Lord constantly. So if one wants to associate with the Lord constantly, then one has to chant the holy name. Krishna says, Sadadam kirtayanto mam yadandascha drida vratahat. All the time we have to chant the holy name. So everyone have the question like, why 16 rounds we have to chant, right? So, but Krishna says, Satatam kirtayantoma. We have to chant 24 hours a day. If we say someone like whether everyone can able to do 24 hours, they will say, okay, I cannot do, so let me not do it. That's why our Acharya Srila Prabhupada, mercifully, he gave this count as a minimum count. Minimum 16 rounds we should chant. Then only we can able to protect us from Maya. But we should be very, very careful that we might think that, okay, I am chanting 16 rounds every day, so Maya will not affect me. Like last time also we speak that how Maya is so powerful. So like in Gaudiya Vaishnavas, like in Gaudiya Mat, so they chant 64 rounds every day. That was a standard set by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So they chant 64 rounds every day, but still there are some fall downs are happening. So that means we can see how Maya is so powerful. It's not that, okay, we are chanting 64 rounds, like we can able to be not affected by Maya. Maya is so powerful, like we should be very, very careful. And that's why Prabhupada says minimum 16 rounds. Okay, if we cannot do 64 rounds, at least minimum 16 rounds. And then whenever like it's not like, okay, we have to chant 16 rounds and after that we keep our chanting japa and then we forget about it. Okay, after this I am not going to see you again. So we should not be like that. That's what here Prabhupada says, one should constantly chant. One who wants to associate with the Lord, they have to constantly vibrate. This tongue doesn't have to do anything like when other work we are doing, this tongue is simply sitting. Right? Why we can't use this? So just chant the holy name, vibrate the holy name inside whatever work you do. Chant, like when we are doing service, like cooking service, generally they say that we should not speak, so otherwise it will spit like our we should not spit, so because something happened like when we speak. So at that time, like still we can close our mouth and still vibrate the holy name inside. And other times, like when we are walking or we are driving or like any other activities, we can constantly chant the holy name, and that's the only way we can able to be protected. So if we take shelter of the holy name, that's the only way we can get protected and we can get the association of the Supreme Lord at every moment. And that's the only way we can able to come out of the darkness of this material world. And that's how, like, that's the main reason Krishna actually created this material world with problems, right? So when we have problems, at least we will remember that we have to go back. But still, even after having so many problems also, we don't feel like, okay, this is a problematic world, right? So that's why like Krishna gave Bhagavad Gita. So we don't understand that we are in problem, we are in disease, right? So and Bhagavad Gita, generally, like people have the tendency that, okay, Bhagavad Gita is like only for the old people, only for the retired persons, then only they have to read. This is all like false argument people do. But actually, Kulashekar Alvar is saying that when I get old, I cannot able to speak properly. I cannot able to see properly. I cannot able to hear properly. And my kappa, vitta, like all those things will get stuck. I cannot even chant your holy name properly. What I can do in the old age, like let me come now itself. Please take me. So that is Kulshekar Alva's prayers. So, but how come we can think that, okay, when I get old, I can do all these things? Right? That's why Prahlad Maharaj says, Kaumaram Acharet Prajna. We have to start from the very early childhood. So, but even still, we can't start. Like, we have to start whenever, at least now we got this opportunity, we should start, and we should not waste our time in any other unnecessary things. And also another false argument is Bhagavad Gita is for only for sannyasis, people who are going to take sannyas, only for them. It is not for like our family life. We are a family person, we have a lot of responsibilities, we can't able to study Bhagavad Gita. But that's why Krishna gave Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. He didn't go and teach to some sannyasis. He gave Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Why? Arjuna is not a sannyasi, he is a family man, and he is also in a responsible position of a kingdom, taking care of a kingdom. So he's a Kshatriya. So that's why Krishna gave Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, that people in future, no one should say that, okay, it has to be followed only for sannyasi. So he gave, that is another reason that he gave to Arjuna. And of course, like the main reason is because Arjuna is a devotee, and that's why Krishna gave Bhagavad Gita to him. And also Bhagavad Gita was spoken not in a cave, in a very silent place. It is not spoken. Bhagavad Gita was not spoken in that kind of place. Where it was spoken? In the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So it shows that our life will be like a battlefield. Every day we will go through so many obstacles, so many problems. Our life is every day like a battlefield. We are going for a war, right? So that's the reason that Krishna spoke this is in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. That indicates that you will also face the same problem every day. So you also go through all these confusions, all these lamentations. So that's how Krishna gave this in gave Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So, and also very beautifully, Adi Shankaracharya, he gave the glories in Gita Mahatmya. I would suggest, like, if everyone can read the Gita Mahatmya given by Lord Shiva in Padma Puran. There is a very beautiful story book. It's Gita stories. Kids also like, and definitely we can also all study. There are, for every chapter, Lord Shiva gives a story. It's a story means it's not like just imagination. It is all like factual history. So Lord Shiva gave for every chapter, when you read every day, like just by reading one chapter every day, just by reading one verse or two verse every day, what kind of benefit that everyone is getting. So he narrated different pastimes, different historical incidents. So for every chapter he is giving. So in that way, I was reading one story. It was like a short. I can say that by reading 18th chapter every day, or not even full chapter, 18th chapter, like 5 verses. So one Brahmana, he was reading every day without fail those 5 verses alone. Like he liked those 5 verses, so he recite those 5 verses every day. So he is just a very simple Brahman. He is not like very exalted and very pure. Like he is just a simple Brahmana, and he chants this Bhagavad Gita every day, 5 verses of Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter every day. What happened, like when like in Indra, in heavenly planets, Indra was like with Sachi Devi, and he was enjoying the kingdom, and suddenly he saw like with so many drums and bugles, everything is playing, and then one Brahmana is coming, and with so much invitation, and so many, like Lord Shiva, everyone is coming to invite him. And Indra got bewildered, like what is happening here? And then he understand that, oh, new Indra came, so my position is gone. What happened? Like how come it is possible? And he knows that this Brahmana, he doesn't do many austerities, he doesn't do many fruitative activities or yajna or anything. But how come this possible? He became Indra. So yeah, to become Indra, generally, like we have to do Ashwamedha Yajna, right? Like 100 Ashwamedha Yajna, then only we can become Indra. Then how come this Brahmana doesn't do anything? How he became Indra? So this old Indra went to Lord Vishnu and he asked, like, oh my Lord, what is happening here? I couldn't understand that. No time I see anyone come with all Lord Shiva is coming and so many exalted devotees are coming to welcome him. And what kind of activities he did? I don't know that what he did. Like I know what he is doing, but he didn't do anything else. But how come it's possible what he did? Then Lord smiled and he explained that he faithfully recited 5 verses from 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. That's all he did, nothing else. So just by reading 5 verses every day without fail, he became Indra. We don't want to become Indra. The point here is that it's so glorious by studying Bhagavad Gita every day. It is like all our problems, actually, we face every day one problem. And Krishna gave solution for all our problems in Bhagavad Gita. Right? So if we study and understand, and Krishna will reveal, right? So just by study, of course, like we cannot understand like a material subject. If we study, we can't understand. That's why we should study in the association of devotees. So who realized and imbibed the qualities and values of Bhagavad Gita. So with their association, if we study Bhagavad Gita, then by seeing our sincerity to attempt to become sincere, Krishna revealed in our heart. So what is the real knowledge of Bhagavad Gita? Right? So that's how this Bhagavad Gita is so glorious. And Adi Sankaracharya, he gave in Gita Mahatmya, Gita Shastram idam punyam yahapatet prayata puman Vishno padam avapnodi shokati varjitah. So Gita Shastram. So Gita means what? It is song of God. Krishna spoke, song. He sing Bhagavad Gita. And idam punyam, it's all pure. Whoever comes in contact with this pure, they will also become pure. So Gita Shastram idam punyam. Yaha patet prayato puman. So whoever study every day. So sincerely, if they study every day, what they will attain? Vishnu Padam. Vishnu Padam avapnoti. So they will attain the lotus feet of Vishnu. And then Shokati Varjitaha. Not only that, they will become free from fear, lamentation, illusion. All these things we will have, right? So no one can say that no one is fearless. That means we are surrendered soul. That is a test. Are we surrendered or not? That shows. When we become fearful of any kind of situation, that means we are not surrendered. Because when we say, when we get liberation, what does that mean? Like when we go to Vaikunta, right? So Vaikunta means, Kunta means miseries. Vaikunta means where there is no miseries. So that means like when we study Bhagavad Gita, what is mentioned is like we will also become liberated even in this material world. What does that mean? That means we will be free from all fear. So that can be obtained just by studying Bhagavad Gita every day. And then also it is mentioned that Bhagavad Gita kinchita dita. Kinchita, little, one verse, at least one verse, or even half the verse, or even one word from Bhagavad Gita. Kinchita dita. If someone do this, Ganga Jala Lava Kanika Pita. So if someone took Ganga water in their tongue once in their lifetime, and then Sakrit Eva Murari Samarcha. If someone worship Krishna, Murari, Krishna. So if these three persons, what is the benefit? So whoever study Bhagavad Gita, little bit at least, and then whoever take Gangajal in their tongue at least once in their lifetime, and whoever worship Krishna, chant Krishna's name one time, for them, what is the benefit? Sankaracharya is saying that Kriyate tasya yamaena na sarcha. That means such a person, they will not have any conversation with Yamaraj. They will not have any conversation with Yamaraj. So that's the benefit of studying Bhagavad Gita every day. Kinchitatita. We should study little bit at least. That's why Prabhupada translated every word to word and the purport. Why? Like, at least we should appreciate and be grateful for Srila Prabhupada. So in that 70 years old, he came and distributed this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to this Western world. And in that age, like you can see the last moment of Prabhupada's life, before he in the death bed, he was translating. So for whom he did? Not to keep Bhagavad Gita as it is in our home, to study Bhagavad Gita, right? So we should not, okay, it is saying Bhagavad Gita as it is, we will keep as it is. We should not keep Bhagavad Gita as it is. We should study Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada requested in many lectures that please study. That's why I gave Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, I translated word to word and then purport. So don't say that I don't have time to study. Please study at least one verse every day. So just to appreciate Prabhupada's work and to be grateful. And definitely it is not just to appreciate and grateful, but it is actually going to help us, right? So that's why we should study every day. And Prabhupada established this Bhakti Shastri system. All these things, it's for that only. So when we study Bhakti Shastri, all these Bhakti Vaibhav and all, it is not okay to have a degree. Okay, I am a Bhakti Shastri candidate. Now I can give lecture. So it's not for that. It is for our purification. When we study something and when we sincerely study, because when we study Bhakti Shastri, then definitely we have to study. There is no option that we can skip, right? So in that way we will study, and that will actually gradually purifies us. And that's the main reason that Prabhupada established this system of study. So that's why like devotees should make a effort to study and memorize the verses. That is more important. That will help us. Devotees, please remember that memorizing verses is not to show to others that, I know these many verses. It is not for that. Just remember the pastime of Gajendra. What helps Gajendra? So previously he was Indradyumna Maharaj. In his previous life, he was Indradyumna Maharaj, and whatever the prayers he chanted in that life, he remembered that in the Gajendra pastime. That's how then he started praying that same prayers. He repeated the same prayers and the Lord appeared. So that means like memorizing verses, it is not just to show for others, but it is for us. It will come eternally with us. So at least not, okay, whole Bhagavad Gita verses or not whole Bhagavatam. At least pick few verses, whatever you like, whatever you feel that you are so much connected. Like very easily, everyone can easily connect for Sarva Dharman Parityajya, right? It's a very easy verse. If someone watched Mahabharat, they will know by default 3 verses, right? Sarva Dharman Parityajya, everyone know. And then Paritranaya Sadhuna, everyone know. So, and then Yada Yada Hi Dharmashya, everyone know, right? So these verses is very simple. Just by hearing again and again, we can easily remember. And Krishna gave what is the problem of this material world in Bhagavad Gita, and what is the nature of this material world, and how we are bounded by different karmas, and what is the process to come out of that, right? So everything he gave. So he is telling that, okay, so this material, so first of all he gave the lesson that you are not this body. Without understanding that, we can't understand anything Bhagavad Gita, right? So we are not this body, we are the spirit soul, and we are the part and parcels of Krishna. And then he said, okay, you have to do karma. You cannot escape from karma. But how you have to do karma? Don't do karma, but do karma yoga. That is the starting. But Srila Prabhupada, that's why Prabhupada purport is always called as Bhakti Vedanta purport. Why? Because Prabhupada sees everything in the terms of bhakti. He even see karma yoga as bhakti yoga. So because for devotee, there is no other yoga. Only bhakti yoga is the topmost. And that is the topmost. It's not for devotee. Krishna put the confidential knowledge. That's why in between of Bhagavad Gita. very confidential, which is 9th chapter, right? So Raja Yoga. So Krishna gave this knowledge, and also finally he says surrender, sarva dharman parityaja. These are the problems. 3 modes of material nature is there. This will control you, and these problems you have to face. All illusion, all fear, everything will come because of this Maya. And what is the process to come out of it? Surrender to me. I will take care. Don't worry. And then not stop there, and he say how we have to follow. Man mana bhav bhakto madhyajimam namaste. So you offer obeisances to me, worship me, chant me, remember me always. So if you do this, then you can come back to me. And Krishna doesn't stop there. Krishna knows, okay, I told, but people doesn't know how to follow. Then I have to come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he teaches how we should be a devotee, how we should practice, or a devotee, how he have to lead his life by chanting his holy name every day and serving the Vaishnavas and appreciating and glorifying the Vaishnavas. That is the life of a devotee. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave that knowledge in this way. So Bhagavad Gita, in a single word, if I have to say, it is just a love letter for all the jivas. Krishna's love letter for us. Just see in that way and study Bhagavad Gita. You can see Krishna's compassion, Krishna's mercy. And our Acharya's mercy is more beyond that, Krishna's mercy. Because Krishna says, do not share this knowledge to non-devotees. But our Acharyas, our Prabhupada goes beyond that. We will go even to the atheistic people and even to the people who doesn't even know. So even to them, our Acharyas are giving this, sharing this compassion and mercy. So on this auspicious day, we can also beg and offer our prayers to Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita is nothing but literature incarnation of Krishna. So how the holy name is the form of Krishna. So similarly, Bhagavad Gita is a literature incarnation of Krishna. So we can take shelter of Bhagavad Gita and the holy name. So in this way, we can able to get out of not just the miseries of this world, but miseries of our false illusion, ego and lust, envy, pride. So these are the subtle things, because gross things, it is easy to come out, but subtle things is very difficult to overcome. So on this day, we can beg the mercy of all the Vaishnavas and all the Guru Parampara, so that we can sincerely study these knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and understand and practice it and share this knowledge. That is more important, because Krishna says, whoever shares this knowledge to others, there is no one dearer than them. We all want to become dear devotee of Krishna. So if we want to become dear devotee of Krishna, share this knowledge. So just sharing knowledge means like we are not that, okay, we have to give lecture to 100 people. No. Share this knowledge, just share the book wherever, when we are going, like have the book with you and give this book as a gift to someone. That is also sharing the knowledge. So that is the only way we can able to help others and bring auspiciousness in everyone's life. So thank you so much. I'll stop here. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Tharup ki jai, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity on this auspicious day, and I beg all your mercy. So whatever the qualities and whatever that I am speaking, let me follow and imbibe, so that I can become a valuable instrument in this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mission. Thank you so much. Any questions or comments?
Thank you very much, Mataji. Wonderful class and wonderful slokas you told about Bhagavad Gita, and like Shankaracharya's, you covered a lot. Yes, that reminds me all my childhood, my slokas, my reading, everything. So, see, like you said, when we start from childhood, it just, the memory power will be so sharp at that time. It stays forever. So that is my practical experience. I still remember those slokas. So that I just recommend whoever has small kids, just try, tell them. Of course, childs are child play, what they say usually. So they are deviated for other things. But that's very good for teaching for children. That is for their benefit only, because they can never forget those things in their
Actually,
lifetime.
teaching the children, like children's, like it's not like we can make them to sit and
No,
teach them. That will not work. We have to do by seeing us, so
that's
they will memorize it. They will just imitate, right? So that's how we all came, just to imitate. So similarly, they will imitate. So if we do by seeing us, they will do.
that's why morning, if you don't say or anything, put it in the tape also loud. Just go, the vibration goes into the house. And wherever the children are, wherever, every day if you put, what happens? One day it will get into their heads.
Yeah.
You don't need to make them sit and teach. They cannot sit in one place. That's obvious. We all know that. So that is very good thing if everybody does for their children, or in the house also. Like you said, yeah, they have to do. But at one time, they have to go for work, they have to do something, other thing, cooking, other things are all there, elderly persons. But put that vibration in the house, so that listening also, Shavanam, that is the main thing. It's a real, very, very good thing. No, he covered a lot of things there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, memorizing verses is more important. Like sometimes we feel that, oh, I am old, or I have so many work, like it is very tough to memorize and all those things. But I certainly recommend at least one verse, two verse, like whatever it is possible, right? So that is very, very important in our life. It will help us at the moment where we need really.
Yeah.
Questions or comments? Okay, if not, we can
Hare
stop.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Then
Krishna.
Pranam. It was nice, Mataji, the wonderful class you gave today. I just joined late, but whatever I heard you said about Bhagavad Gita is a love letter from Krishna. That took my heart really. I like these topics, whatever you talk about, and we have to share. We have to give the knowledge to other. That we always try for Srila Prabhupada. And whenever I don't know what to speak about it, then I said, this is written by the Acharya Srila Prabhupada. I like said his name. Sometimes it works really, By Srila Prabhupada mercy, people take the book. And whenever I say he's the first person who came to the US and spread Krishna consciousness. By reading his books, many people become devotees. Then people give little attention. Yeah. So
Yeah. One time, what I remember, like one time when we are for Janmashtami promotion, like we are distributing books also. That time, I remember like one person, he's a Christian, and he said like he reads Bible every day. And then when we show Bhagavad Gita, that we told like, oh, whatever the problems that you have, like you just randomly, because Mahatma Gandhi said, right, so whenever you have confusion, open it, it will give the solution. So we said the same, and then he said, okay, I'm going to now open it. I have some question in my heart. I'm going to now open it in front of you. Let me see whether I can get the answer. He said that. We were literally praying, my Lord, please help us. And then he opened, and then finally, by Prabhupada's mercy, somehow, I don't know, he got convinced. He took the book. So yeah, we don't have any power. That definitely whatever Krishna chooses, that person will get definitely. So we are just the instrument. Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you.
I have to say.
Krishna.
Very nice class. Thank you,
Thank you.
Syamala Gopika Mataji. I just wanted to share with the community of devotees what we have planned to celebrate for Gita Jayanti this weekend. Tonight, beginning at 5 o'clock, we're going to be reading the English translation of the Bhagavad Gita in the temple. 5 o'clock. It'll take to maybe about 8:30. We'll stop for the artik and chant and do kirtan at 6:30, about midway through. And then prasadam will be served afterwards. Tomorrow morning, we have our community Mangal Artik every Saturday morning. We're going to be joined by His Grace Anutama Prabhu. He's going to be visiting Philadelphia this weekend. And then in the afternoon tomorrow at 1:30 at City Hall, we'll be distributing Bhagavad Gita. There's a big Christmas village that's set up down there. So there's lots of shoppers, lots of people that are coming through. We're set up there almost every day, chanting and distributing books. So we're going to do that tomorrow as well. That's Saturday. That's tomorrow at 1:30 to about 4 o'clock. And then Sunday in the temple room, we're going to be reciting the Sanskrit verses of the Bhagavad Gita at 1:30 leading up to the Sunday feast class. And then His Grace Anutama Prabhu will be giving the Sunday feast program. So we hope you can all join in at some point throughout the weekend and partake in this auspicious occasion and opportunity for our spiritual advancement in celebrating Gita Jayanti. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for being with us, Mother Syamala Gopika.
Thank you. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Yeah.
Vancha kalpatarupasya sindhupi vacha paritana pavabhyo Vaishnavebhyo Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai,
Jai.
Samveda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.